スタジオ3万
Happy New Year, all our queer friends and allies. Welcome to the first week in 2023 with Chester Pridecast, all things pride and beyond. Today we're ditching our devices, disconnecting from the web, excluding podcasts of course, and discussing our ways to reduce your digital footprint. Before we begin, we'd just like to say the following content may contain strong language and adult material that may not be suitable for all audiences, so your discretion is advised. Any views or advice expressed on this podcast are the views of Chester Pridecast and do not necessarily represent the views and the opinions of Chester Pride. Hi folks, it's me, your pan piper Wes, and today I'm joined by...
Oh, I go first.
Yeah, this you're going first.
TJ, I'm also here, as
He's
always.
Finally back.
Oh yeah, because I wasn't here last time, was I?
No.
Had a little accident.
I'm Carla, and I'm back too.
It's just funny that you said I had a little accident, because I told everyone last week.
Oh, what did you say?
That you had IBS. So your little accident.
That's not my little accident.
I mean, it was. You weren't here to defend yourself.
I fell over, okay. I hurt myself.
You weren't here to defend yourself, so I just said you had IBS.
I did not shit right. I feel like every time we record, something about me shitting myself comes up. I've not done that for at least 2 weeks. So
2 weeks. Is that it? Well, here we are. I mean, it's only us three today. Everyone else is enjoying the festivities still. We're just the sad bastards that showed up.
Yeah, we're lonely. Please, someone be our friend.
Yeah, please listen to us.
So, what's everyone's New Year's resolutions been?
Oh, I don't know. I don't usually make them because I just know
You're just going to not stick to them.
It'll last 2 days and then it's done, so I don't know.
And it's the gym membership that will get cancelled within like 2 months.
Yeah.
or you forget to cancel it and it charges you like £600 a year.
I don't, because I've still got mine and I've not been for like 4 months.
Mine's just to travel more, I think.
Travel more.
Actually go on holiday and stuff.
Yeah.
I'll go for a rail card and go Merseyside.
Yeah. Get some fish and chips.
Go to Liverpool.
No, I actually want to, just travel more really. Just be more present, I guess.
Well, that's it. I don't think you need to go like abroad to like go somewhere new. Like I want to do Scotland. Like me and my partner would love to do that. Like, even just get like a little caravan or something. I know that sounds really corny.
How old are you? If the caravans are rocking.
But no, I think Scotland would be amazing.
Yeah, definitely. Scenery wise.
I think that's a good one for travel. Because like we go to like a cottage in Anglesey. I'm looking at you. I'm waiting for your cottage in Jack.
I wasn't going to say it.
Well, yeah, whatever.
No, nothing.
No, but we go to that, and that's just like that's where I asked him to marry me, and it's it's kind of special. Yeah, it's kind of special.
That.
And I grew up there, going there with like my family as well. So
it's quite cute.
Yeah.
So what are we actually on about today?
So today I thought with New Year's resolutions, a great one ties into our topic, which is reducing your intake of digital content. So being conscious of online presence, protecting your identity, and just basically like getting off your phone a bit. I think that would be my New Year's resolution, I would say, actually, is to reduce my digital consumption.
But it's so hard to do because you're so used to just like...
But that's what I mean. You need to kind of like
it's so habitual
separate
now, isn't it?
Yeah. You've got to kind of separate from that. Like, I was just doing the research for this episode, and research has shown that the user go from one post to another on social media every 19 seconds. Now, when we scroll through our feed, switch between content so quickly, the brain gets a hit of dopamine each time, creating a short neurological high. It's a rush that keeps you scrolling through your content. Now, for me, I mean, I've grown up in a time when I was a kid when we didn't have. I think my first mobile was.
Short and slow.
No, it was a seamless. It had a little aerial and everything. And before that, I had a pager as well.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I genuinely had in the 90s I had a pager, so my mum could be like, "Did you get home, tea?"
All the cool kids had them.
No, I didn't mean pocket. I'm not that. With my little bum bag.
I can imagine it now.
Mum's pager, me gotta go home.
Yeah. Let's go.
No, but I kind of feel like I don't know, this makes me sound really old, but like the younger generation, they've kind of just grown up on endless scrolling and that's all they know. And maybe that is the way things are going, you know, that's the way it's going. And I'm just sounding like an old man going, back in my day. But it is kind of scary how it's
reliant, like kids these days are reliant on social media and technology, and if it wasn't for that, then they would not know what to do with themselves.
Well, this is the thing. So what I found is there's two types of people, and producer Dan, hi Dan, he's helped me with the episode because he's quite technological, should we say? Okay. I mean, he's our producer for the show, so
so it's got something.
Thanks, Dan. Anyway, so there's two types of people. So there's those who use social media and the web for, like, you know, keeping up with family, friends, It's not so much an extension of them, but you can kind of just like, that's the, you know, this is that, I can put it away whenever. And then there are those that are so reliant on social media for validation.
Yeah. And I think that's what most people are these days, is they need to have those likes. Like, they need
the followers, they need... I don't know what it is on TikTok, like an apple or something gets sent to them. They're like, oh my God, thanks for the apple.
How old are you?
I'm young enough to still know TikTok. I'm just saying there's like loads of random stuff that are like, thanks for the lion. And you're like, okay, yeah. I looked on it and like a lion's like worth like, I don't know, like 20 quid or something.
What the fuck?
You send gifts,
Right, so you send a gift of a lion.
So you can send likes that will help build up viewership of like a live, but then you can send gifts. And then, that's what makes TikTokers money. See, I'm the oldest and I'm teaching you too.
I had no idea. I didn't even know you could be monetized on TikTok.
Yeah.
I didn't know you could do it.
Yeah.
But I guess that's why it can be dangerous. No, not dangerous.
No, I get what you mean.
That's why people are so reliant on it. Because,
if it is your job.
Yeah.
Because there are those that are like just on the cusp of like, should I just quit my job and do this? And then... Yeah. I guess it could be quite scary and stop being fun if it becomes your income.
Full-time career.
Yeah,
and then the pressure's on to like succeed with everything.
And stay relevant and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So I can get why it can become quite, I would say it can be quite toxic.
Well, especially when you see like kids these days, they'll see like their favourite YouTuber or TikTok or something like that. And they're like, I want to do that, so I'm not going to try and...
I want to be a doctor. I don't want to be a fireman. I want to be a YouTuber.
And they'll just like throw everything else away. Oh no,
I don't need education.
Dad, if I leave school, I'll be a TikToker. It's like, unfortunately, it's like a very small percentage of people that actually do it. So yeah, it is dangerous, very dangerous.
Well, we've heard recently, didn't we? Because we were looking up on this, Carla, how. Snapchat Plus is just kind of launched.
What the hell is that?
So it's obviously like Snapchat. I don't know if you used to have Snapchat.
I've got Snapchat.
Well, I say used to because he doesn't message me on that.
I'm terrible at replying.
But no, Snapchat Plus has come out, so it's like $3.99 a month or like 30 quid for the year at the moment. But it's basically you get like load of new features, wallpapers, basically digital stuff. But the worst thing that we found on it is that, like how you can see where people are on like the map. If you've shared your location, you can see where they are. Well, you'll be able to see where they've been for the last 24 hours.
No, I don't like that.
That's what I mean.
What?
How is that adding value?
That is ridiculous. That's like living Jeffrey Dahmer fantasy.
It's adding value to the wrong types of people, isn't it?
Wow.
Because it's like the people, say for example, a woman who's trying to get away. Mm-hmm. Well, she's being stalked now from her partner.
That's ridiculous.
You know what I mean? I can't see any way that this is a good thing.
Who thought that was a good idea? What benefits are you getting from
That's what I mean. I've been looking and I can't find how it's going to benefit anyone.
If anything, that's going to make everything worse for everyone using it.
Yeah.
But then again, who's going to pay £30 a year for Snapchat?
Well, it'll be the insecure people that like want to follow their partners around. And now they can do it from their phone.
Yeah, like I think sometimes having your location on is a good thing. Like, for example, with WhatsApp, you can choose to ping your location. So if you're meeting someone, they know exactly where you are. And there's a time limit on it as well. But there's a time limit, and I think that's so crucial to it because you're opting in to give your location data for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
But people could forget they've even got their location on, and it's been tracking them for months and they don't even know.
Well, it's like, I think the last time I used it was coming here to the studio, and I was like, Diana was calling me going, where are you? I don't know where it is. I'm like, I'll just ping you my location.
Yeah.
You know where I am then. Or like if, say for example, you've got someone coming to pick you up, you'll know where they are then till I go, right, I can come outside now, I don't have to be in the rain kind of thing.
I like how you vaguely said someone's coming to pick you up. You mean Grindr?
No.
Or like, I don't know, like, or if you've just been on a night out and you have to go in a taxi on your own.
Yeah.
I'll like ping my sister my location. It just gives me peace of mind that someone knows where I am.
Exactly. Always give the reg, always give the location.
Yeah, but then that's the thing, you've opted in to do that.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of companies are trying to be sneaky with their terms of service. To be like, right, well, you've accepted this document.
Yeah.
Now we can pretty much control.
Well, it was not long ago, was it? That everyone was like clocking onto Facebook's terms of policy, whatever it is, where like they can access your camera, your phone book, they can text on your behalf. You have to opt in all of this to use Facebook. Yeah,
I do not know any of this. This is Serge. What's going on?
Yeah, honestly, if you look through like the terms and conditions, and especially like on like your app settings as well, you can see that all the things that they're like, they have access, not that they ever use it, but they have access to it.
Yeah.
And you can't use Facebook or Messenger, I don't think, without opting into it.
Mm-hmm.
So like they could just use your camera and stuff.
Your microphone, your camera. But it comes down to like personal advertising, because I've done a test where I've said like dog every like 15 minutes or whatever.
Oh, and then it shows.
And it'll show you like dog treats, dog toys, that kind of thing, or like adopt a dog and all stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it is scary. I mean, like we've been talking about it today, haven't we? How like personal advertising, it can be beneficial. But it's like you said, there's a lot of information that needs to be gathered before that really takes effect.
Yeah, and it's similar to Google, I guess, because, for example, say I wanted to go and get my hair cut, I'd type in hairdressers.
Yeah.
And I don't even have to put my location into that search, and it will populate all the hairdressers in my area. So that is a net positive. But I think as much as good it does, is just as much bad it can do it at the same time.
Especially for the younger people as well that have got like younger people. These young'uns these days. But a good example of it, and I know it's kind of like a niche kind of example, but I used to work for a credit card company, and one of the customers that I had was screaming down the phone at me, saying, what are all these Xbox transactions? And I said, well, looking through it, sir, you personally have put in your details to this Xbox, you've authorised the transaction, and then your kid has just gone and said, bye, without you realising or knowing, thinking that you putting your details in as a one-time transaction. It's not.
It saves it, doesn't it?
It saves it. And I think you racked up like $4,000.
But that's why it's so important to be responsible for the data that you provide, and to check it every now and again.
Well, that's it, isn't it?
The like policies and procedures change all the time as well, and different features get added that you don't want, but sometimes you get automatically opted in for them. Yeah. Like when Snapchat first released the location-based thing, I was pretty much using it for months, not knowing that everyone can see where I am.
Well, when it came out, there was that guy, wasn't there, that he
opt in to go in ghost mode. But what should happen?
It should be the other way around.
It should be the other way around, and that's what I don't like about it. The fact that these things, if they're a positive, you should want them. You know what I mean, like you should be like,
you should be able to opt in for a feature.
Yeah. This is a feature I might need to use. Okay, I'll turn it on.
Yeah.
But it's also taking responsibility as well and checking these things, because we all know that companies can be a bit sneaky now. So
well, it's like the ones that are like
to check.
It's the ones that it's funny the way they word it as well. When like say you subscribe to something, and then they say like the newsletter bit, everyone gets it at the end. It's like, do you not? Yes, want not? Yes, not want to? And you're like, I don't know if I'm ticking to say I am or I'm not unsubscribing to the letters.
Have I unsubscribed or have I just signed up for something else?
Well, that's the thing, anything like that, because I've got my main email address.
Yeah.
And I'll have another email address that I can dump stuff like that on.
Yeah, like a spam account.
Yeah, like a spam account. I'm not checking it,
but
I know I can like give like a shop or something my email address.
Yeah.
And they can send offers to that, so it's not spamming me.
Then when it's your birthday, you can go on that email.
Like, let's scroll through all these dead offers.
See what you've got for free on your birthday.
That's what you could have won.
But check it on your birthday, see if they're giving you some freebies.
Yeah, well, that'd be nice.
But going back to the when I was working at the credit card company, it's like the first couple of weeks that we were there. Each department come and introduce themselves, and the fraud department came. And because obviously they've got our immediate details for being there at the company, they'll do a bit of research on you, and they literally go, right, you pointed at me as well. I could set up a credit card in your name with the amount of information that's out there online about you.
That's mad, isn't it?
Yeah, and I was just like, well, what have you got? And he was like, I've got your phone number, I know your address, I know where your mum and dad live.
Because you don't need a lot, really, do you?
No. Mm-hmm. But this is it. Straight after that, I deleted any kind of information that I didn't really... This thing... I'm going off on a tangent here now. But like when you start on Facebook as like a kid...
Yeah.
All the fields are there to be filled in, and you're going, I want everyone to know, like,
almost like a game.
Yeah, exactly.
It's fun, yeah.
And we were saying, when we like younger people's data is valuable, but it's not as valuable as when you grow up. But if you've got that mentality of rather than deleting information, of updating it instead.
Yeah.
Why does anyone need to know your work history, your school history? Mm-hmm. Like, all your relationships to different people, because it's all available there on Facebook.
Yeah.
Why is it necessary? Like on my Facebook, I have who I'm engaged to and that I'm part of Chester Pride. That's it. That is it.
That's probably a smart thing, though.
Yeah, and anything else that like for anniversaries or dates and stuff, I'll just change the setting to me view only.
Yeah, see, I don't do that at all. I know I should.
Yeah.
I need to keep things to myself.
That's it. It's just like, well, you can have the information there, because I'll always forget my anniversary.
So it's there.
It's there when I need it, but not everyone needs to see that.
Yeah.
I've just got this really, my assumption is I know my life's boring, so why the hell does somebody else want to know about it? Like, why is someone going to look at my information? But you're right, someone could, and then set up a credit card or...
It's like, for me, I'll use Instagram just to dump photos. It's not for anyone else but me. Yeah. And then when I'm bored, I can just scroll through it. I mean, I've got thousands of pictures on my phone.
I don't want to know what.
Shut up, yeah. But it is kind of like my best bits, my highlights.
Oh, I bet it's your best bits.
Not in my gallery, dickhead. No, on Instagram, like my best bits, like my memories and stuff.
Yeah, because your age, you often forget.
You know what? You are on thin ice.
That's what I was last week. I fell over, fucking bum, didn't I?
So what actually happened? Tell our people, because I didn't really say. I just said you're on IBS.
No, I just slipped on ice and fell over and hurt my bum.
So is that the only reason you didn't come to the podcast?
Pretty much, I had a sore ass.
Well, it was funny because Andrew was like, is TJ coming? And I was like, no, he's hurt himself. He goes, is it a gay thing? Well, he's hurt his bum, so that could be considered as a gay thing.
Speaking of pain in the ass, I've not seen Jason for a while. Is he alright?
Yeah, he's dead. He's just dead busy with work. He was on the last episode, so you just keep missing him.
I know. I think he's avoiding me now.
That'll be me soon. Don't worry.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But yeah, just getting back on topic. Another big thing is online dating. I know we've spoken about online dating before, but more or less the risks around online dating, especially like stalking. That's a massive. And like you were saying before, weren't you? Because we were discussing it, how like someone can take your pictures. I've had it before on Grindr where someone stole my pictures, and it's flattering, but it's also quite scary.
Yeah, I've matched with myself on Tinder. I was like, wow, he's fit. Oh wait, it's me.
That's my reflection.
But no, people do it. It is weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it is flattering, but at the same time, if they were to then go and do something and
it's your reputational damage then, isn't it?
Yeah,
but like, there's a lot of scams going around, like people like stealing people's like pictures, creating a new Facebook account, but instead of catfishing, they'll actually make a new account that's supposed to be like you, and then they'll message your relatives like, oh, my bank's blocked my account. I've been hacked. Can you ping me over £20, please? And people will do it because they're messaging people that are so close to them.
Ping my friend the 20 quid and it'll be the hacker's details.
Yeah, and like, especially for other people that aren't really online much, they're not going to have a clue. Like, they can think, oh, this person...
It's like the elderly as well.
Just made a new account. Because people, this is another thing about Facebook, people do make new accounts.
Yeah.
And they delete their old account and they want to start fresh for the new year.
Yeah.
But then, at the same time, you have to be really, really careful.
I've had a couple of friends that like that keep making new accounts. I'm like, is this a hacked account? Or is it the person? Yeah. So you message them and you're just like, is this you? But no, I've been hacked on Facebook before when I was in uni, and it's one of the most harrowing experience. No, it's not that bad.
What happened?
Well, I got hacked, and they took all my details, changed all the email addresses and stuff. But then when I got a new account, there's a lot of security that Facebook, in fairness, have put together, where like, if you want to hack me now, not that anyone should, please don't try. But you'd need my phone, obviously, for verification ID code. You'd need my other email address, and you'd need 3 codes from people that I know who can give the code.
Right. Okay.
So I can say, it's a hack, and then that's it. Then.
Yeah.
So it is quite good.
Stopped, yeah.
Well, speaking of like safety online, I think we should all go around and say our mother's maiden name. That's the awesome. No, okay.
No chance.
You're all good, thank you. And then I think the only other kind of topic around this would be like location based security as well, isn't it? Like you were saying about Strava, which I don't know if you want to explain.
Yeah, so when Strava first came out, so obviously it's an app where you can track your runs, if you're cycling, bike rides, all sorts. And I think it really sort of popped off like with COVID, because people were like, well, we've only got 30 minutes of exercise a day, we might as well
everyone have a look. I'm not posting anything else, so I might as well.
Might as well show the world that I'm doing something today, because I can't do anything else. And then I think people obviously thought more about their health, so they thought, right, okay, because obviously COVID affected people in loads of different ways. But humans are very habitual, so they'll go for a run every day at the same time in the morning.
Yeah, it's a ritual.
They'll do the same route because it's what they're familiar with, what they're comfortable with. And then that's perfect territory for stalkers then.
Especially if you're posting on like Facebook and stuff like, this is my route this morning.
Yeah, and then people know exactly where you are at a certain time.
You are, and you're always going to be alone as well.
Yeah, exactly, because you're just getting your exercise and things. So obviously one way to obviously combat that is, one, don't record your runs.
Yeah.
Or if you do, just
change it up.
Set different routes every day and make it a bit more interesting for yourself.
Yeah.
Or if you do want to post them because you're on a leaderboard, because that's another good thing they have, is like leaderboards and like people trying to beat people's fastest mile time and things. But it's your safety is your biggest priority.
Definitely,
so
especially when you're
going to share it, just be careful about what you are sharing. Like my last one that I shared on Strava was actually when I fell off my bike. So ironically,
just stop in the middle of the road.
So ironically, that would actually have been quite good for someone to see that, like my ride ended because I'd fallen off. So that possibly someone could have helped if no one saw me, but luckily someone did.
Yeah.
But that's the only positive, like one of the only positives I can see of tracking it, is that people know where you are in case of an emergency.
Yeah, definitely.
But that's where WhatsApp and things like that, I think it makes more sense to do it based on, this person could see my location just for 1 hour.
Yeah.
Because just in case.
Well, it's like, it goes back to what we were saying about WhatsApp.
Yeah.
But it's like on my phone. I know this is going off onto something else, but I just reading up on my notes. But you've got to be very honest to do this. But I lost my phone when I was at work. I left it on a bench. But there's like a section on my app. On my phone, like one of the security features, where you can put your email address. So on the lock screen. So as I was like running off to find my phone at this bench, I seen a guy with 2 phones in his hand. I was like, it's gonna be him.
Yeah.
I'll go up to him, and it was like, yeah, that's my phone. He goes, I was just emailing you to let you know that where I'll be or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing as well.
Yeah, because I found a phone not too long ago, and then when you press the button on the side, it shows like a contact number in case of an emergency. So I was able to get in touch with them, and then be like, I found the phone, blah blah.
But I guess that's a good feature as well. Let's say if you've got a medical issue.
Yeah.
As well, because it used to be a thing where it was like you could get a necklace or a bracelet, and you opened it up and it like gave the details.
Yeah, like ones that tell you what your blood type is.
Yeah, all that stuff. So phones do the same thing now, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
So we spoke about what's wrong with social media and like all the crappy things that can happen to like everyone these days. But we do have a couple of tips, tips, hints, all that kind of stuff, on how to help reduce your digital footprint. Because like we said, just because like you put information in, is it relevant? Is it secure for a start? I know it sounds boring to have to do all the admin stuff, but
it's important. Well,
I've been stalked before through social media as well, and it is honestly one of the worst things, because I'd get people messaging me going, what are you doing? Because first they were using my credentials, so you obviously like catfishing, like we said before on Grindr. Then they started on like my socials, and then going into like talking to people that I know as well.
Yeah.
And they're going like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm not even on social media.
Yeah.
So I had to get rid of everything for like a good couple of months. So yeah, a good few tips. Not to like petrify you or anything. But we've got tip number 1, audit your accounts. So I think that's a really good one to like, you know, when you're signing up to something like a subscription or something, like if you're not going to use it again, delete it.
Yeah.
Why let someone keep your information?
And don't just like delete the app. Delete the account.
Because that's it.
A lot of people just like uninstall the app and think it's gone, but no, the information's still there.
Yeah.
Well, it's like so many of them would be like, are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. But if you go, you're losing this. Are you sure you're sure? And
it's like guilt trip you.
Yeah. And it's like, well, okay, so you're sure, but we'll keep your account active for another week in case you change your mind.
Yeah. And you'll forget to log in. And
and then, you're back. Hello, you're staying now. But yeah, I think that's a really good one. Like, know what information's out there.
Yeah.
I think, especially when I was a kid, I was signing up to everything. I don't, and like, I think I've still got a MySpace out there that I have no access to. But it's just like me, like being a weird pose or whatever. But no,
we need that. We need that.
No, I don't even. Well, good job. I don't even remember my credentials or anything. And like Bebo as well. I had that.
Bebo was a big one.
But that was I thought Bebo was quite. And it was like the chavs social media, but it was like the first like kind of segue into basic coding.
No, it was. It was really advanced for its time. Like, people used to make like themes and all sorts.
Did you ever have Bebo?
Yeah, I did have Bebo, yeah.
So you know what we're talking about. You're just looking at me with a blank face.
It's just my face.
But then, this goes into step 2, or point 2, is delete and deactivate information. So we spoke about that. Another one is do a Google search on yourself. And it sounds quite vain and quite cringy. But,
I do it daily.
Well, I did like as part of my degree, it was like personal branding. And that was like a big thing. And they were like, if an employer's going to, because that's what they'll do. The first thing they'll do after like your interview or even before is Google you.
Yeah.
And see what's out there. If you're there getting trashed on a Wednesday afternoon, they're probably not going to hire you, or they'll pick someone else. And just another point, because a family member of mine is a letting agent. if they'll also do it for that as well, for when you're like finding a place. If you say, oh no, I've got no pets, and in your picture you've got your French bulldog next to you, they're going to go, yeah, no.
Yeah.
So yeah, like when I did my Google search, it was all me, a lot of information. I'm going, that's not great. So after and the first place Google will find information is Google itself. So if you've got like a Gmail account or like, anything that's linked to Google, that's a great place to start to remove your information. And then now that if I Google myself, it's just like a post that I did on Instagram like 3 months ago or something. So that's
an OnlyFans link.
And an OnlyFans link, of course. I will link it in the bio. Number 4 is manage your privacy settings.
I don't do that either.
That's what I mean. It's quite a boring and tedious thing, isn't it? And there's so much settings to go through.
I think if you create an account, if you do it straight away, so if you consciously think, right, okay, what information am I going to put in here in the first place? Because it's a lot more difficult to try and get things off the internet than it is, of course, to put them on. Because a lot of the time, once they're stuck on a server somewhere, they're there forever.
But the thing is, like, when we were kids, obviously, you just put everything on. So, because the Apple updates so many times, the amount of settings that you need to go through to get to where you need to go... It is like, I have to go on Google sometimes being like, how do I find how to deactivate my account? And it's like settings and privacy, user, and you're like, fucking, it shouldn't be this difficult.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the 5th one is curate your online presence. Again, it's just kind of being conscious of what's out there of you, being in control of it, basically.
Yeah.
Because I think for the longest time, like Yelp or something like that, or Yell, they would have like your
review thing.
Is it Yell or is it Yell? The yellow, I think it's Yell, because it's yellow pages.
Yeah,
like went digital. So if you typed in your name, your telephone number, your address, all came up, and you're like, I didn't even give that. And that's another thing. I found a lot of websites that I didn't give information to have it.
Yeah. People sell your data.
It's very lucrative. Like. So, I think for a lot of technology companies, that's like a sneaky way for them to get extra money. And if we talk about advertisements as well, and advertising to a specific group of people, it's so easy for a company to collect all the information based on people that have similar interests and then target you that way.
Yeah.
And that can be a net positive for the world, because if you really like football, you might get advertisements based around football. But at the same time, you've got to worry about how everything's connected to your safety, and you just have to be really careful.
Yeah.
Well, again, I think if a lot of people who, like we said at the start of the podcast, who want to become like a content creator or like a TikToker, even use just a different name, just, a persona even, or like on Twitch, just have like a username.
Yeah, create your own brand rather than
exactly.
Soon people use their real name, don't they? And I'm bad for it. My PlayStation name is my real name.
Yeah, so
someone could easily use that information and find out everything about me.
Yeah. Well, because of the experience of like the potential fraud against my identity, the stealing of my identity, I do have like an online persona. So online I have like a different name, different age, all that kind of stuff. So when it says like, what's your date of birth, I've got, boom, this is this person.
You were born 10 years ago.
I'm 18 years old. No, but just be careful online. And I know it sounds quite like your dad telling you. It is. It's true. Just have a look through your socials and think, do I need that out in the world?
Yeah.
But Carl, you've got something on like helping with password protection.
Yeah, so of course, for most websites you go on, your passwords should be different, but it is really difficult to remember all of those passwords. And of course, you can't just put them all in the Notes app on your phone. Because then they've got...
You've had your phone stolen and everything else.
Things on my notes.
No.
So there's a chart I seen recently, and basically if you use lowercase letters only in your password up to 8 characters, hackers can actually get that password instantly.
Yeah. Bloody hell.
And one of the most secure ways is to have at least one uppercase letter, one number and one symbol. And if your password is 12 characters or more with those specific elements long, it would actually take them 34,000 years to be able to hack the account.
Yeah.
But something really important with hacking accounts is they don't just go for like the most secure sites first. The code or the hacking system that people use will look for vulnerable sites. So, for example, in the media, it'll say that a certain company has had a data breach and all the passwords were given to like a scammer, a hacker. If you use that password for any more websites,
they'll know instantly.
You've also vulnerable to all those other websites at the same time.
Yeah.
So it's not just about using the same secure password, it's also good to try and switch it up a little bit. My handy piece of advice as well is, because it is difficult to try and remember all the passwords, is I try and think of sentences. And then don't just put the uppercase letter at the start and the number,
that's what I do.
and the number at the end. Because I think as sort of the algorithm for these hackers use changes, it might actually be easier for them to actually hack accounts that have got capital letters at the start and numbers at the end.
Well, that's it. 1, 2, 3 or something.
Like 1, 2, 3 exclamation point.
Yeah, that's
perfect.
Well, the thing is, I have like maybe 7 or 8 email addresses, just because it's like my personal one, my spam one, pride one, whatever. I've got a few, and I have like a set of passwords I use as well. So say if it's something that I don't really care about, it'll go to my spam email with the most basic password that I know that I've had for years. And like up to banking is like my most secure password. So it depends on severity of like what's important.
Yeah.
I think that's good as well. And also like, say for example, it says, oh, you need to change your password. Just change one of the digits in your password. If it's still a really secure password.
Yeah.
And I know you should like change up your password all the time, but not everyone's going to always remember.
Yeah.
Even if you change 1 or 2 of the letters or numbers or whatever, that's quite good.
Yeah, definitely.
But Dan, our producer, again, hello Dan.
Dan's like really scary tonight.
We need to just bring him into the episode. We need to bring him in the podcast. He says that phone manufacturers and apps are taking responsibility for users' time online and devices building in screen time monitors and privacy settings. So I guess they are kind of like, I don't know if it's because they have to or they just think morally they should.
I imagine they have to, surely.
Yeah, because again, it's all down to like, you've got the latest iPhone, but you're constantly fixed to it. And one thing I know this has always been my pet peeve is when you see it like concerts and people, you just see phones all the time. Not only you can't see, but you've just paid like what, 60, 70 quid to go to a concert, maybe even more, to look at it through a tiny little screen.
Who the fuck's going to watch that video back? Because you're not going to sit at home on your own and watch that video. And if
none of your friends care because they're all jealous that you're there.
Literally, and if I see someone at a concert on Snapchat, I'm not watching every fucking video.
I'm just going,
yeah.
But that's it. It's like, and for me, I'll take maybe a couple of pictures, a small video as a memento, and then put phone away and enjoy the show.
And enjoy it,
And it's a lot like easier for people to steal your phone if you're just there.
Just pop it up.
This is how you make your money, is it?
just going around, just like getting those pins of things.
Imagine.
Mine.
Just grabbing phones for the birds. Jesus.
So I think the final thought for the episode is just because you can doesn't mean you should. So Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year.
And enjoy 2023. Bye. Don't forget, you can reach out to us or email in your dilemmas via email, pridecast@chesterpride.co.uk, drop us a DM on Twitter at ch1pride, or send in your message anonymously via our Curious Cat found on our Twitter. Chester Pride is produced by Studio 30,000.